Welcome back to TransGuyReacts. My name is Nick, and I make videos about women's basketball, collegiate or professional. And today I'm going to talk about the WNBA games for Sunday, July 7th. There were 4 games on today, quite a few games. So um, let's get into them. So the first game was Atlanta Dream versus Connecticut Sun. Things to note about this game were that the Atlanta Dream had 4 injured players that were not in the game, and only really mainly Alicia Gray and Tina Charles were scoring. At the fourth quarter, I watched this whole game. In the fourth quarter, there was a 20-point lead from Connecticut, and Connecticut just put their bench in. I think they made it a little bit more respectable towards the end, but you know, Atlanta's struggling. So the final score for this was 80-67. Um, let's check out the box score to be exact for the Atlanta Dream. Alicia Gray scored 20 points. Nia Coffey had 11 points. Tina Charles had 13 points, 2 blocks, and that is pretty much it. Letitia Meeker had a pretty good night. She had 6 points, but and eight rebounds, and that's because she was actually in the game because she never gets any time. But they put her in the game for 15 minutes, and she scored 6 points, which is very telling. It's like, can you put her in the game? Please, come on. But yeah, Jordan Canada, Ryan Howard, Cheyenne Parker Tyus, and Ariel Powers are all injured. So what is the Dream gonna do? Couldn't really do anything there. Connecticut Sun had a great night. Dewana Bonner had 23 points, 1 block, 1 steal. Alyssa Thomas had a okay night, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal. Brianna Jones had 11 points. Um, Tiffany Mitchell had 13 points, a really good night for her, and Dejanay Carrington had 9 points, 6 rebounds. So pretty good, solid performance from everybody from the Connecticut Sun. The next game was the Dallas Wings versus Las Vegas Aces. It was a sold out game, as are all of the Las Vegas Aces games. The Aces are coming off of a loss to the Sparks, which was probably really surprising to everyone, although they had lost to the Sparks before, so technically not. It was also Alicia Clark's birthday, so she turned 37, which is very exciting, and she's a vet and she's still killing it on court. So happy birthday to Alicia Clark. It was a super close game in the first half. Actually, I was like, "Ooh, Dallas might be super competitive," but the Aces did start to pull away in the third. But it was still competitive the entire game. Sims, there was a point where Odyssey Sims and Kate Martin kind of got into it, but it was really clear. You can see the replay that Sims hooked arms with Martin, and then Sims got upset that they hooked arms, and then she pushed her, and then Martin pushed her back. So it's not really surprising because Odyssey Sims gets very angry easily in other games too, so I'm not surprised by that. I think they both got a technical, if I'm not mistaken. It was kind of hard to tell. Interesting thing to note about this game also was that Asia Wilson beat Sophia Young Malcolm's all-time scoring record for the Aces. When Sophia Young Malcolm was on the team, it was the San Antonio Stars. So she was the leader of the all-time scoring record, and now Asia beat her, and of course she will rack up more points. Um, Thing to note about Sophia Young Malcolm is that I have been in the league for 20 years, so I don't forget who she is, and I remember her back in 2013. She made a very tone deaf statement on her Twitter about being against gay marriage, and even back in 2013, there were plenty of gay people on the team, in the WNBA, and on her team. So the fact that she was so adamantly against gay marriage under the under the guise of I'm a Christian, so I don't believe in gay marriage. And I was like, wow. It's fine for you to have those opinions, but it's kind of stupid to say them when you're in a league that's incredibly progressive and has many out players. And it's just why was this even necessary for you to even share? It's what was the point of that? She didn't really need to share it, but she did. And she was, I think at the time she was out for an injury, and then I think she came back into the league for 2 more years, and then she was out. And I have to say, I'm sure that she was pretty much shunned after that, because show you when people tell you who you are, you got to believe them. So she was actually at the game for Asia beating her score, which I was like, whatever, she's there. I guess you got to give her props, but I'm also I don't respect her at all, so could care less about Sophia Young Malcolm, but she was there. The score was 104-85 for the Wings, and yeah, that's pretty bad. Just a 20-point lead is pretty bad. And the bench pretty much played the last 3 minutes of the game. JC Shelton had a pretty good game in terms of defense, but she only had 6 points. Natasha Cloud had 14 points, 8 rebounds. Tierra McCowan had 9 points, but she was like getting into it with like reps and got a technical and stuff like that. Arike Gumbawale had 13 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals. Odyssey Sims had 25 points. She had a fantastic game. But that was kind of it. Monique Billings had 8 points, but it just was not enough when you had so many Las Vegas Aces players in double figures. So Jackie Young had 18 points, 3 steals. Alicia Clark had 6 points. Asia Wilson had 28 points and 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal. Kelsey Plum had 23 points. Chelsea Gray had 12 points. So, and Tiffany Hayes had 7 points. So it was just like a really good outing for everybody on the team. So there's just no way that Dallas was going to win, unfortunately. The third game of the night was the Chicago Sky versus the Seattle Storm. This was a second game of a back-to-back. The first quarter was very brutal to watch, very low scoring on both sides, and the Storm had a very low scoring points like up until like the last 3 minutes, and they both started scoring better, but it was very hard to watch, and they were just running back and forth up and down the court. Second quarter a little bit more competitive. Third quarter, Angel Reese breaks Candace Parker's record of consecutive double-doubles, so now she has 13, I believe, which is crazy that she just keeps breaking records. Also in the third quarter, Kennedy Carter she made a hard foul on Jewel Lloyd, and it was kind of a necessary foul, and she got a flagrant one. Then on the other side, Jewel Lloyd fouls her pretty hard, but it's not like hard enough for a flagrant one. But Kennedy's pissed. She mouths off at the ref, gets a technical. Teresa Witherspoon had to like calm her down, and she like apologized, so whatever. But it was kind of funny. But yeah, it was a pretty competitive game actually, almost up until the very end. But Seattle Storm pulled away 84-71. The box score for that for Chicago Sky, Marina Mabry was hitting those threes. She had 14 points. Angel Reese had 17 points, 14 rebounds for a double-double, and 4 steals. Girl had 4 steals and 1 block. Camila Cardoso had 6 points and 8 rebounds, so she's doing pretty good. She's pretty solid, but not putting up as big numbers as we were hoping. Kennedy Carter had 21 points, 1 block and 1 steal, and Isabel Harrison had 11 points. So good outing for them. It just was not enough considering that Seattle Storm had Neko Umake putting up 24 points, 13 rebounds. Ezzy Magbogor, 13 points, 13 rebounds for a double-double. She also had 4 blocks, 1 steal. Jewel Lloyd had 20 points, pretty standard for her. Skylar Diggins-Smith had 15 points, 8 assists, but she was flirting with getting fouled out. She had 5 fouls. She also had 2 blocks, which is crazy because she's super short. But yeah, pretty good game for Seattle, pulling out the win there. And then the last game was the Phoenix Mercuries versus the Los Angeles Sparks. I came into this game in the second half because I was watching the Sky versus Storm game, and it started tandemly, so I did miss the first half. But from what I found out, there was no Rebecca Allen and no Diana Taurasi for the Mercury. They're both out with the back injuries. Azurá Stevens from Los Angeles Sparks was in the game. She came back from her arm injury, so that's pretty good. But then, unfortunately, in the first quarter for the Los Angeles Sparks, Stephanie Talbot injured her foot, and she didn't come back into the game. The second half was incredibly tight. The entire second half, third and fourth, they were going back and forth. It was a couple points between them. Really full arena. The crowd was really into it. It was packed in there. It's nice to see Crypto Arena packed. And Rickea Jackson was putting on a show. It was a really great outing for the rookie. I think she got a career high actually for this game. But alas, Phoenix did win 84-78. In Los Angeles Sparks, like I said, Rickea Jackson put up a career high 22.6 rebounds. Really great night for her. Dearica Hamby had 25 points, 9 rebounds. Not surprising. That's what Dearica Hamby does. And then Azurá Stevens had 10 points, 6 rebounds. Not bad for coming back in her first game, have to say. But the Phoenix Mercury, like I said, had a much better game. Led by Kalia Copper with 25 points, 10 rebounds for the double-double. Natasha Cloud had 31 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and that was pretty much kind of what did it for them with the help of Brittany Griner's 9 points, 7 rebounds, and Sophie Cunningham's 8 points. So all in all, the Mercury were able to pull out the win. But yeah, that was the games for today. 4 games, pretty exciting. There are no games tomorrow, so I won't be posting anything tomorrow. But if you like this kind of content where I do a games recap, please like, share, and subscribe. As I always say, there are no comment sections turned on for my videos because I don't really care what strangers on the internet think about me. But if you come here every day and you listen to me do the recaps, I do care about you. I think you're awesome, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.